Hello, my name is Elvi De Leon. I am the Executive Director of the Global Center for Success. The Vallejo People's Garden is a fine example of how partnership and collaboration can produce something good for the community. As you know, the Global Center for Success is a public charity organization providing holistic training services and support groups to homeless individuals and economically disadvantaged families. Health and education is an important component of the training that we provide to our students. So we had this piece of property here at Mare Island. It was overgrown with weeds. It was just an eyesore. But Vilma Aquino, one of our volunteers, visualized something in this piece of land. She visualized a community garden to help feed homeless people with organic and nutritious produce, as well as teach individuals and young children where their food comes from. Lack of funding prevented us from moving forward. However, we still did it, and we received our first donation of tomato seedlings from Solano Community College Department of Horticulture. And then that same year, we also received our first funding from California Automobile Association, which enabled us to buy supplies and some other necessary materials to start the garden moving.
Hello, my name's John. I've been volunteering here in the People's Garden to help harvest for the shelter. Being I was once in the shelter myself, I'm trying to give back because I know what it is like to go hungry and not know where your next food is coming from. And then with that food, I try to cook as most nutrition I can for the money. And in that way, I get the lettuce for the salad, everything for the salad here out of the garden. And I am very grateful to Pastor Ray and Elvi and the people, the volunteers, to give me this opportunity to give back something to someone else, because I was the someone else.
As fate would have it, things started to turn around for the Global Center for Success, and in the spring of 2010, Brian McDonough from Lennar Mare Island, one of our partners, introduced Global Center for Success to Amanda Condiff of the USDA Forest Service office here in Vallejo.
So the Vallejo People's Garden really started as a partnership. Not one of us could have done it all on our own. I'm Amanda Condiff with the U.S. Forest Service, and the Forest Service has an interest in connecting people to their natural resources and to public lands. And we see community gardens as a green place to meet people in their communities. So the Forest Service was interested in supporting a community garden here in Vallejo, and I found a grant from Nature's Path Organic Foods to start a community garden. But as a federal agency, we weren't eligible to apply for it. So I started calling up nonprofits in Vallejo, and when I talked to Sister Elvi on the phone, she was really excited and said, "Come on down." So we met, and it turned out that the Global Center had already identified a vacant lot here that they wanted to turn into a community garden, but they didn't have the resources to do it. And they had a fantastic advocate in the community, Vilma Aquino, who was really excited about starting a garden here too. But they needed the funds. So we decided to work together. I would write the proposal, and the Global Center would be the place where the garden would be and would be the official applicant for the grant, and Vilma would mobilize her contacts in Vallejo, and we would all work together to get support and volunteers to start a garden here. So once the three of us came together, the Forest Service, the Global Center, and Vilma being an advocate in her community, Once the three of us came together, we were able to mobilize even more volunteers. So Toro University here on Mare Island was really interested, and they sent tons of students who helped build the garden. And we also had neighbors from all over Vallejo come to spend their Saturday mornings here building the garden. And like I said, no one individual or organization could have built the garden on their own, but together we all had the resources to do it.
Things I find fun about the garden are to plant the seeds into the soil and the dirt so they can grow. And I like to water because it just makes them grow and it's good for the plants. And then I like to harvest because you get to eat them, and when they're big and ready, you can harvest them.
I was actually here when this was like just a big pile of dirt.
Brittany Dutremont is a student at nearby Toro University.
They sent out an email kind of letting us know that we were thinking about starting this project, and they really wanted Toro students' help with it. And so every time I come back every week, it's amazing to just see how much we've done and how much it's grown, and it's been a huge success.
The primary goals of the Vallejo People's Garden is to provide healthy food for those most in need, to educate children and adults about gardening and environmental stewardship, and 3, to provide a safe place where neighbors can gather and get to know one another. One of the things we teach people here at the garden is to reuse, recycle, and repurpose. We practice crop rotation, companion plantings, and educate people about using California natives to attract pollinators, and that would help provide better yield and more yield in some instances. We also have rain barrels where we can teach people to collect rainwater so that they in turn can use the rainwater to water their plants and not use tap water. What inspired me to start a community garden was watching people just actively participating and involved in gardening. think twice before you buy that bottle of pesticide or herbicide, because if you do and use it in your garden, it will affect you and your environment. Think about using California natives to attract hummingbirds, ladybugs, butterflies to your area, using crop rotation, companion planting, things organic that is good for you and good for the planet.
Yeah, the Vallejo People's Garden, it's a wonderful place. It's been a wonderful place for my family and me. I've been exposed to people with a lot of knowledge that has taught me a lot about nutrition, about how to take care of our, basically of our planet. And also I can bring healthy organic food. You know, sometimes people with limited resources can't go to the store and buy those organic products, and coming here and volunteering and learning, it also gives me the chance to take some of this healthy food to my children.